And I am live. I am live. Happy Sunday to you all. Happy Sunday. I'm back again. Yesterday I missed it, but I didn't miss coming out live. I was live yesterday, but I was live with my business partners, and it was such an amazing session. If you want to catch the replay, it's somewhere on my page. Just go there and you will find it. It was an amazing session. But today I'm back again to continue my 30 Days of Clarity series. What I've done is I've shared the post for yesterday on my page. You can read about day 22. Today is day 23, 7 more days to the end of this clarity series. And honestly, it has been a journey for me. It has been an eye opener. It has been a reflection journey for me. And I just want to encourage you all, take time to take a step back and reflect on yourself, your life, because I just watched something today, which also reminded me that at the end of the day, I will be going alone to the graveyard. Okay? So do you win big, live life, and be happy, honestly. And this is one of my takeaway from my clarity session, because as I said in the beginning, as much as I'm coming out here to talk to you, I'm also accountable to you, and I'm having my own personal reflection as well. I did it before, but I'm doing it again just because I'm here to share. I'm sharing it with you, and I'm you are my accountability partners. Let me put it that way, from that point of view. So I'm accountable to you, because coming out every day means that I really have to do something about it. It's not just writing up what I'm going to talk about and just coming to talk. No, it's about me actually living it, experiencing it, and then sharing. Okay. So I'm just, without more further ado, I'm going to go continue. So I'm going to be sharing a personal pivot moment for myself, because it's all under the courage to start again. I do remember from day one where we talked about your title. Who are you? What is it? If they stripped off all your costumes, because the honest truth is we are all wearing costumes. We are wearing the costumes of, I don't know, what's your profession? Maybe medical doctor or engineer or plumber. I don't know. Whatever your profession is, you're all wearing that costume. We're wearing the costume of being a mom or dad. We're wearing the costume of being a brother or sister. We're wearing the costume of being an auntie. Some of us are even wearing the costume of being a grandparent. If life happens and we are stripped of that costume, what is left? Do you know who is going to be left? And that's a question you need to be asking yourself. And that was a question I asked myself a couple of years ago, although not in this format. I asked myself this question: what do I really want from life? And for me, what made me even think about it was the whole of the pandemic. Everything that happened in that period was deep for me. Honestly, lives were changed in that season. And I can tell you that mine was part of those lives that were changed. I know some lost their lives, may their soul rest in peace. But for those of us that survived it, perspective shifted, perspective changed. Okay. And what I've noticed is that people are even more confused. And that's just the honest truth. After the pandemic, people have become more confused. They don't know whether they are coming or going. They don't know whether they can start afresh or not. They are thinking, oh my goodness, I have spent over 30 years in this role, or it's not a role, in this profession. How can I ever start afresh? How can I start again? What can I do? I can't learn. I don't have the capacity to learn. These people are minimizing. They are minimizing their ability, because you are used to doing the same thing over and over again. You've done it for so many years, and now you feel it is impossible to move to something different. And I'm just here to tell you today, day 23 of my session is talking about the courage to start again. Yes, I had that courage to sit down, to reflect, and decide, you know what? I'm going to do something a bit different. You may call it start again for some people. For some people, it may be the courage to do something different. Whatever it is, you just have to have that courage to do something different, because that is the only way you can begin to move on from the moment of reflection and clarity that you've been looking after. Okay. Now, I'm going to go into this topic gently. Many people have that fear of rerouting. Yes. And the truth is, You are absolutely right. You should. You, if you didn't feel that way, I would be surprised. It is normal because we're talking about the most difficult part of that journey, that internal courage. It has to come from within. Change comes from within. No, it doesn't come from external. Forget what you see, what people do. If you see someone successful, it did not. That is just the manifestation. The success started inside. Yeah. So it's that internal courage that is required to change course. It was hard for me. It was hard for people around me. Yes, I'm be honest with you. Starting a business was hard because I've never run one before. I have never fathomed that I would be doing something like this before. Why? I come from a family of educators. My mom was a teacher, although she's now retired. My uncles, one of them is a lecturer in university. He's a doctor, PhD holder, postdoc. I have two of my uncles that are postdoc. One is a head teacher in a secondary school. I have my uncle's teachers, all teachers. My father was an accountant. We are all white collar jobs. That's the environment I grew up in. So how will I even be thinking of running or building a business? It is just something that it's unheard of. So yes, I had to build that courage. I had to summon that, and I know that that is what is holding you back. Yes, so many of us, we may have never even done a business before, and it is that courage that is required to change the course that we are lacking. And I'm just here to say to you this today. Do not be afraid. If I can change, if I can have that courage, not change, if I can have that courage to progress or to move to do something for myself, then you most certainly do have the power within you to to you know to change your course, the course of your journey. Now, there's also the part of, oh my goodness, I've spent all these years as a statistician, for example. I've spent all these years working and doing my day job. Wow, how am I going to now pivot to something else? Right? So you spent all these years you climbing through the rank, building your reputation. Let me break it to you. You don't necessarily have to leave what you're doing. Because that is the idea that you have, that for you to be able to do X, the next thing, the next best thing, you have to leave what you're currently doing. Absolutely not. No. And because you are thinking of, oh my God, how am I going to walk away from this thing? How am I going to remove myself from this environment? You then feel like you failed. Absolutely not. No. Nope, nope, nope. I'm just here to debunk that myth. You haven't failed. No, you haven't failed. The course of your life has just changed, and that is okay. There is nothing that is constant. It is okay to change. After all, the way you looked like 20 years ago, is that the way you look like now? No. The way the world was 20 years ago, is that what it is right now? No. So if the world can change, why can't you? If the world can divert, why can't you? Your effort is not a waste. In fact, you are in a better position. Yeah, I'll talk about that later. You are in a better position because you've acquired skills over the years, you've acquired knowledge over the years, which you can pivot into something different. Okay, so you start thinking about it. I like to call it the sunk cost fallacy. You'll be thinking, oh my God, I've spent too much time. If I had known, I shouldn't have. No, don't do that to yourself. Just stop thinking that. Even though you've invested so much in something, sorry, even though you've invested so much in it, it doesn't make the fact that you're choosing to um oh yeah, sorry, the fact that you're choosing to pivot doesn't mean you're a failure. Okay, so I'm here today to shift that narrative. Look, bravery is not fighting a losing battle. No, bravery is is the courage to strategically pivot to a path that guarantees success based on your own definition. Hear that, your own definition, okay? Not what the world expects you to do, not what the society wants from you, not what even your partner wants from you. What is peace to you? What is peace to you? What is time freedom to you? And what is choice to you? Whatever that definition means to you, that is success. All right. And it is okay for you to do anything you want that will give you that peace and the time freedom or the choice, whatever it is, whatever you have defined it to be. It's okay for you to do it that way. All right. So I'm hoping that this empowers you and encourages you. I'm just here to tell you that, look, I mean, it's enough of having to play to societal terms and societal demands. I mean, at my age, I really do not, I'm not, I don't want to use the word I don't care, because I just feel it's not a nice statement to make, but I really don't allow my life to be decided by what people think, because it's my life. I remember when I started this life, the first thing I said was, when it's my time, I'm going to go alone. When I came alone. Okay. So also, I just wanted to also remind you, because I know many of us are senior professionals, senior in our jobs, we're doing, big things. Like, if you know your client's project is failing, like if you know that something is not working, Shepi, what will you do? You will say, bros, hey, sister, this thing is not working, or it's about to fail. From what I can see, based on my experience, it's not going to give you that thing that you want. Let us divert. Okay, let us divert to do something else so that we don't lose out completely. All right. And that's just an analogy. It doesn't mean that is what I'm trying to say, because when it comes to your personal life, it's not the same. It's about the principle. Okay. You will tell them, let us divert the resources. Let's pivot these resources. So you are allowed to give yourself that same strategic decision. You are allowed to make that decision for yourself, for your personal life. You can't be able, what then is the essence of learning such a skill and not being able to apply it to your life? What is the essence? Okay. So give yourself grace. That's what I tell my people. Be gracious to yourself, okay? So my own personal pivot, like I said, was me sitting down and realizing that, okay, this thing I'm doing, it's fantastic, but is it really going to give me the peace that I desire for myself? No. Is it giving me what I really want? No. It is, I wouldn't call it an old map, but it was a map. Is it fantastic? Yes. If I look at the future I want for myself in the next 10 years, do I see this thing giving me that thing that I really wanted? No. And this is when I had to sit down and ask myself some very tough questions. I actually had to sit down and ask myself some very tough questions. And then I think it hit me hard during the pandemic. I make reference to the pandemic a lot because that was my turning point. It really was my turning point, because it just made me realize, oh, life was fickle, right? It's very fickle. So I started questioning things, started asking myself, the current life I live, how interesting is it? If I'm on my, deathbed today, do I want to be what do I want to be going through my mind? Will I say I've actually lived? Will I say I've actually enjoyed? Will I say I've had a good life? I've had a good time? These were the things that I was asking myself, and honestly, the answers I was getting was just not it for me. And then what even pushed me was, okay, I realized I've said this countless of times, but I'll say it again. I was watching an advert on TV. It was just an advert that it hit home hard. It was a cruise ship, and there were lots. I noticed, I try to observe things around me, and I noticed that on that cruise ship, there were lots of elderly people. And when I mean elderly people that have retired, really. And I thought, oh, so this is what people that are retired do. This is what they do when they retire. Okay, interesting. Well, it would be nice. And I was already fantasizing. You know how you just sit down and picture things? I was already picturing in my mind, this is how me and my husband is going to, enjoy our retirement, right? Then, for whatever reason, my eyes went to the tiny print. They always put that thing in very small print, very small. You have to bend down and look at it. Then they wrote there, for a 2-week cruise journey, it will be 2,000. This was in 2020. It will be I don't know what it is right now. It will be 2,300 or something per person. I said, what? 2,003 what per person? I said, okay. That means for me and my partner, we'll be doing at the minimum 5K. I said, okay, our pension will look after it now. After all, what's the big deal? What are we working for all these years? Hey, that is when I now received the shock of my life. Open my pension. I say, what? What is going on here? Okay, yes, I know I've not worked up to the retirement age, but even if I do my own personal calculation to see, okay, when I retire, this is how much I'm projected to, and if I remain where I am now, definitely did not see us being able to afford 5,000 for a cruise ship, that is when I'm like, Jesus Christ. So when I retire, I'm going to, if I don't plan properly, I'm probably going to even struggle. No, this can't be me. And really, that hit me hard. And I started questioning, what am I working for? If I cannot have a good retirement pot, what's the essence of working? Why can't I, this is the things that was just going through my mind. In that moment, you have a rush of emotions, you be asking yourself several questions, but of course, I'm happy to continue working, but I just want to make sure that my retirement pot is fat and heavy and big, because I won't work so long and then struggle in the end. And this is the reason why this was when I thought, okay, I need to do something else. So there was a slight pivot. I wouldn't say it was complete pivot. It was a shift. Okay. I decided that instead of building vertically, I wanted to build wider. Okay. That is it. I just wanted to build wider. I wanted to expand. Yeah. Instead of growing upwards, I want to go wider. So I didn't quit. I just decided to build a wider bridge for myself. Okay. And that was a moment of pivoting for me. All right. Now, the hardest thing was the first step for me. Oh my goodness, it was the hardest. And I remember having a conversation with my mentor, and she told me everything I needed to know. I was on the verge of making up my mind, but I was scared. I was scared because number one, I have no business experience. I don't know my left from my right. What I just knew was that the business opportunity that was put in front of me fitted right into my lifestyle. That was the only thing I knew. I knew I didn't want to do anything outside. No, only because at that time I realized that the internet of things, or the internet was becoming I mean, if there's anything the pandemic taught us, was that you can literally be indoors for a year. You don't need to step out and everything possible will be done. Yes, every single thing. You can do your GP appointment online. You can shop for food. If you didn't feel like cooking, you can order for food. They will deliver it to your door. If you want to order for groceries, they will order, you deliver to your door. If you wanted to shop for clothes, you can order online. They will deliver it to you. If you want to do books, you can even attend parties online. Hey, I said, this one is what I want. Something done online. I do not want. So, but committing was hard. It was difficult. It was difficult for me to take that first step because I was afraid, I was skeptical, I was nervous. I was like, what if it doesn't work? And then I had to, but at some point I said, you know what? I'm just going to go in. It doesn't matter. I'm starting. Whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. That's what I told myself. At this point, I would rather regret, I would rather regret, I would rather regret failing than regret not trying. Okay? Even though I knew failure wasn't an option. Do you see? For me, because I didn't want, this is the question I always ask myself. If I look back tomorrow, am I going to be happy with the decision I made? Because I did not want to look back and say, oh, if I had known, I should have. That is not for me. If something comes to my mind, I don't, this is the question. If I ask myself that question and I don't feel um at peace with it, then I need to do it. Even if it's going to be messy, even if it's going to be all rubbish, let it happen if that's what is going to. And thankfully, by the grace of the God I live, even God I serve, it hasn't turned out that way for me. For everything decision I made in that way, it hasn't turned out that way for me because it's always proven to be the right step for me. All right. So, and this is it. So, and this is my true story, because I just thought I need to build something for myself. I need to plan my retirement. I mean, if my retirement pot is not going to be built to this level I wanted by just owning, a one stream of income, then let me build wider. All right. And the truth is, once you start, then it becomes less daunting. It becomes less, you become less afraid. You start to get clarity. I remember one of the sessions I talked about the action provides clarity. You don't get clarity before taking action. No, you don't. It's just impossible. You only get clarity when you take action. If you don't take action, you will never ever get clarity. It's just life. Whether you accept it or not is a different ball game. But if you feel like you want to sit down, you want to know every single thing before you take action, will you ever get anything done? Will you? I'm not sure. I'm not sure you will get anything done. It's just like saying, I want to have a baby girl child, and you want to now sit down and understand how the science works, and you do all the permutation and combination, do everything, and be like, this thing is not going to give me a baby girl. Oh, what? Hey, God. Is that going to stop you from doing what you want to do? No. So if you can do that for your life job, why do you spend so much time over analyzing? There's no point in over analyzing. You just need to know some details. You need to have the pic, you need to know, you don't need a lot to make a decision. You just need to know specific things. And once you know that specific thing, then you move on. People spend so much time over analyzing. It's terrible. And it is such a, it holds you back. Like it literally draws you back. Over analyzing, it draws you back. Something you could have started 2 years ago or 3 years ago. If you were not over analyzing, you would have made progress. But because you are so caught up in, hey, is this going to work? If it doesn't work, it's better to fail. Even the Bible tells us to fail. You fall down 7 times, you stand up, you continue. It's better to try failing than not try at all. That is a worse regret, not trying. So this is my invitation to you. Please, 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 and please, if you are in any way, thinking about, trying to get that courage. Remember, courage is time sensitive. The longer you wait, the more the compounded growth you lose. It's just like investing. Where are my finance people? Where are my finance people? If you don't invest today, you are wasting time. You are. You need to be investing yesterday because time, you know what? Compound growth dwells with time. It works hand in hand. It's related, correlated to time. And it is applies to every single aspect of our lives. It does. Stop waiting. Stop sitting on the fence. Whatever it is you want to do, write a book, apply for that job, open that shop. Do it today. Do it now because compound growth is you are losing it. You are losing the power of compounding. You are losing the power of compounding. I promise you. So stop waiting. Just get that courage. Get that courage and just go ahead and do that thing that you really, 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 really want to do. That thing is sitting in your heart. You know it. It's there waiting. It has been in your mind. You have just been sitting on the fence. Just do it. Because this is a legacy you'll be leaving behind for your children. The experience, your children are watching. Every people are watching. What do you want to be remembered for? The person that was always dragging the feet? So I'm going to ask you a question. So if you had to choose a theme song for your professional reroute, what would it be? Let me know in the comment section. And listen, if you're ready to turn that courage to looking into what we do as digital business owners, for example, by all means, just visit my page, my website, everywhere. All of my details are there. Connect with me. There's nothing that is by force. You look, you like, you start. You look, you like, you don't start, you walk away. But at least you've checked it out. The worst thing you can do yourself is to make a decision based from a point of ignorance. You can't be on the outside of the fence and be seeing what's the full picture. You have to take action. You have to come in, see, and then you can walk out if you don't like it. Because we also recognize that it is not for everybody. Because there are thousands of more other things you can do. And by all means, look around, but do something. Stop sitting stop overanalyzing, stop being afraid, don't overthink. Just do it, okay? And I hope this encourages you today being Sunday. This is the beginning of a new week. I wish you a blessed week, and I'll be back again tomorrow with my next series. Have a good evening.